In the last 13 years, the northeastern part of Nigeria has been plagued with insurgency and insecurity, leading to unimaginable trauma, violence, and loss of life. The conflict has resulted in the killing of over 3,500 people since 2008, based on a study by the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) in 2020. Also, the 2019 United Nations Refugee Agency (UNHCR) annual report on sexual and gender-based violence showed that there were 1,666 reported cases of gender-based violence in Borno and Yobe State within that year. Violence against women and children has a tremendous cost to these communities and the society as a whole. The consequences include physical and emotional impacts, which, if not properly handled, can remain with women and children for a lifetime. Violence against women is an extreme manifestation of gender-based discrimination and gender inequality. The right of women and children to live free of violence depends on the protection of their human rights and a strong chain of justice. With the rise in gender-based violence comes the need to develop mechanisms to protect women, girls, and other vulnerable groups. Since 2020, PWAN, with support from UN Women, has been working to develop structures that can be trusted to ensure the protection of girls and promote the participation of women in peace and security efforts in Borno and Yobe states.
Our assessment clearly indicated that there is trust deficit between security personnel and the community people, particularly in the northeastern part of Nigeria. So one of the strategies we adopted with our implementing partners, PWAN, was to set up structures that will build confidence between the community and the security personnel. In terms of impact, I would say this project has really achieved the desired result. A midterm evaluation of the project was conducted recently, and from that assessment, it shows that virtually all the targets set have been fully achieved even before the project ends. We have seen, for instance, one of the objectives is how do we address gender gaps within the security institution at the strategic level. We have seen policies being formulated, not just formulated, we have seen structures established by this institution to implement these policies. So in terms of impact, yes, we have seen the impact being felt by the beneficiaries, and part of what we are doing is to see how we can scale it up in the second phase of the project. We want to go beyond the target areas. We want to sustain what we have established, strengthen them, and also expand the scope, because different states who have seen the benefit of this project are clamoring that we need to also intervene in their state. So UN Women is engaging with our donor, the government of Germany. We are gracious and we are happy, grateful to them for the generous support to UN Women. We are also working very closely with other donors to see how they can complement this so that the scope and the impact will be better.
The main responsibility of the Nigerian police is to protect lives, and whether it is life and property, whether it is that of a woman, a girl, a boy, or whatsoever, entire citizens of the Federation. But because of what is happening currently, where the current Inspector General of Police is very committed, and the entire management is very concerned about the level of SBV in our community. And we have also established gender desk officers in all state commands and formation of the Nigerian police. And I'm sure we have had a lot of support from UN Women, yourself, and other partners to build capacity around these officers so that they'll be able to handle, to prevent, detect, and as well as respond very effectively to cases of SBV across the Federation. We are still engaging other partners in discussing, like not just the gender desk officers, but also looking at other components of the force that are going to be involved in handling SBVs. apart from the investigating officers, we are also looking at the police medical services, so that we effectively build their capacity, so they understand how to handle cases, because we don't want to be taking victims or survivors of SGBV to the general hospitals outside, whereby it's open and we know the issues of stigmatization and so. But if it's an all-inclusive team, entirely police, so we'll be able to build capacity. So all these are geared towards ensuring that Nigerian police is well prepared to respond very efficiently to cases of SGBV.
PWAN has been working in the Northeast for the last 4 to 5 years, and most of our work has been centered around promoting women's participation in peace and conflict resolution issues and interventions. Our focus initially was just on creating public safety and security platforms for dialogue, and we're able to have bring stakeholders together from different sectors, including civilian, security institutions, persons from the justice sector, representatives from government, and so on and so forth. And they were able to discuss and dialogue on security issues and find solutions to security-related problems. But then over the years, we discovered that there were certain barriers that were preventing those kinds of structures from being sustainable and from being efficient. One of which was the lack of gender inclusion. We discovered that even though women were present within some of these structures, and that was just because we insisted on a quota, insisted that there be gender parity. So there was gender parity in some of these structures, but unfortunately, gender parity did not directly translate into participation. So women were present within these structures, but were not given a voice, didn't have any sort of autonomy. And I think that gave us the background for this project that we implemented, or we started implementing with support from UN Women. So within this project, we worked with three structures, three community level structures. The first is the Community Safety Partnership Forum, the mixed observer teams, and then finally, women-led organizations.
Wannan abin da ya dame mu ainin ba kaɗan ba, don akwai mata ana musu fyaɗe, kamar wani dattijo kamar ni haka ma zai je samu yarinya mai shekara 12 mai shekara 10 ya ce zai amfani da ita, sai kaga ya lalata da yarinyar ta zo ta lalace kuma ta zama abin kyama a tsakanin jama'a. Kuma Allah da ikonsa da wannan kungiya ta zo tana faɗakarwa, za a aka san mahimmancin mutum sosai, kuma wannan ire-iren wannan abin ya yi sauƙi sosai, kuma aka ci gaba da yin haka ɗin watakila irin su fyaɗe da abin nan zai zama tarihi, zai wuce ma gaba ɗaya.
Abin da ya sa akwai wadansu wanda tun da aka fara akwai wadansu abubuwan da ba mu sani ba daga zuwansu nan, kamar yanzu zuwan ko kamar haka mun karu sosai, kamar irin rabdin nan da sauransu, da kuma wayewa kamar community development, mu taro mu yi wani su abubuwa, mu san ce ga abin da muke yi a garuwa, da abin da ba ma yi, abin da ba ke wani wanda ake yi na manya da yara da suke yi na da, yanzu yawanci abin duk yawan ragu. Shi yasa yanzu mun karu ma yanda su kungiya nan da suke zuwa, mun san mun karu sosai.
I notice a lot of difference because of the participation of the women in the community. Sometimes they don't always come out, but when we came into the community, sensitized them on SGBV, gender-based violence and all related cases to this, they came out and they were fully participating in our activities.
People are now aware of their rights, and they are more vigilant than before with the coming of this community safety partnership.
Well, it has impacted a lot in the community because of the sensitivity of the environment we're in. Women are not free to even report, most especially issues like GBV and other forms of violence. With the formation of women-led organization, I haven't known that it is a women-led. They are free to talk with women. Women can go into their houses, into their rooms to talk with them. So it has impacted a lot, and we have given women voices so that they will reduce the culture of silence and try to report issues to women-led organizations.
Funding is one of our problems. We will need the desktop, we will need everything concerning office utensils, including the stationaries. We need them because we always buy them with our own money. When we don't have money, then the thing will just go like that.
We want the government to intervene because now, we are using our this thing, like transport now. If we want to go outside for any patrol or anything, we are using I'm using my motor. Fuel it, that motor, I carry my team, we go up and down.
Some of the community people are expecting something from us, and we don't have something to give them. Because nowadays, most of the organization used to go with little soap, biscuit, or something that they will give it to the community members. And we don't have anything to give them, except we will tell them that we are here to sit down and tell you about the consequences and causes of GBV and how to prevent GBV, and if in case of incasity, if it happened, this is the channel of reporting. We are going to respond it. We have security, we have the feeder, and we have the women affairs together with us.
I feel like we should have different group too. We should have a young women group, and we should have a children, adolescent group, and old women group, and the middle women group. Because sometimes these young girls, they may have something to share with you, but if they notice the presence of elderly women, they withdraw themselves. They will not love to talk. So if we can have a time or a group for them separately, just for those girls, that we can have time so that they can feel free to express what they are feeling.
Awareness raising is the best. Awareness raising is the key to everything. Because if we sensitize on the importance of women participation, they will participate more.
Farko dai abun da ya faru da ni mun sami sabani ne da kishiyata. Har ya kai ga ta dauki abu ta fasa min kaina. So da na tashi sai na je gurin kungiyar CSP na sanar da su. A takaice suka je suka ɗauke ta, suka tambayi me ne haɗa mu, ta faɗi dalilan da ni kuma na faɗi dalilai na. Daga nan kuma sai aka ba ta rashin gaskiya a bisa abun da ta yi, don ina zaune ne ta buga mun abu har ya kai ga suka ɗauke ni suka je suka mun ɗinki. Kungiyar CSP kenan. Suka mun ɗinki, suka treatment ɗina a asibiti har na samu lafiya, har ma suka ɗan mun wani tallafi na su kayayyaki da su tukwane haka da su barguna da su katifa haka. Ina abin da ya faru kenan da ni.
An yi wa yarinya na ne shi mai shekara 3 fyaɗe a anguwanmu, to kuma na samu ƙungiyar mata na tallafi MOT suka taimaka min, muka zo police station, daga police station muka zo CID police har muka je ga kotu aka kai shi prison. Kuma yanzu an yi abun bai wuce wata 2 ba da yi, kuma anguwanmu ɗaya da yaro duka. Yana gabanmu muna baya.
So we believe that with the combination of efforts of these 3 structures and finding a way to harmonize their various activities, it's going to contribute greatly to the efforts of civilians and security agencies in the Northeast, efforts that look towards promoting peace, promoting conflict resolution, and more importantly, ensuring that women are a part of that entire process.